There's a misnomer about, or whatever you want to call it, about dirty comedy being easy. I don't buy that.
I don't buy it.
When comedians say, like clean comedians or comedians that are purists say, well, that's an easy laugh because it's about dicks. And I always want to say, well, you do it.
Yeah.
Go up and get the easy laughs with the dirty shit.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no such thing as an easy laugh.
Yeah.
There's none.
It's not. Joey Diaz used to do this bit about what he called doing the pigeon. And he goes, that's when you're eating a girl's monkey from behind. You stick your nose in her asshole like a fucking pigeon. And somebody who said that about it, like, oh, God. Why is he talking about? I go, you think that's easy to do? Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to be that person, to go on stage and talk about stuffing his nose in a girl's asshole when you're eating her pussy from behind?
Yeah. And also, it's just another subject, and it's a pungent subject because sex is a pungent, and it excites people and it scares people.
What people don't like about dirty jokes, they're really hard to follow with clean jokes.
If you're a fucking pussy and you're not paying attention.
Yes.
Because anybody who's killing, comics are so stupid that they think, I can't follow that. When somebody's killing, if you have your head on straight, you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, because the audience is primed.
They're excited.
They're having a good time.
And they don't think like, this guy... they're not thinking in your stupid, insecure brain.
Right.
Like, I bet this guy's not as good. They're just thinking, hey, another guy.
Right.
And if you're doing something very different, they're like, cool, here's another way to...
Right.
Like I learned that because I was the same. I was scared of certain guys. I worked with a guy named John Ayres. John Ayres, maybe. He was a Connecticut comedian. There's certain like comedians that were like Connecticut guys.
Yeah, weird guys.
Yeah, and he opened. It was the Nanuet Holiday Inn. This is the '90s when comedy had just fallen out. Remember, all the clubs, Catch closed, the Improv closed.
Yep.
And I had been in it too long to quit. And now I was doing like $100 gigs out of town. So I was at the Nanuet for a whole week, like Wednesday through Sunday, with Tom Ayres. Tom Ayres. Nice guy, too. I liked him. And his closing bit, he was opening for me, and he would just annihilate. And his closing bit was he had a banjo, and he would do dueling banjos. So he had a hat on that was like a helicopter with hooks that he put a cow on it, like a stuffed cow. And he'd go, ding, 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 and on the tape it would go, moo, 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 and then he'd move the thing and put on a cat, meow, 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 meow. And so each animal, and at the end he's spinning, the thing is spinning on his head, and he's playing, and they're going, and all the animals are, and people are going, you see them like so excited, and at the end he'd play a big finish, and he'd raise his leg, and on the tape was a big fart. Made no sense. Big fart at the end, and the people would get up, just stand up and applaud. And I think Keith Robinson was emceeing for me. He's opening for me at MSG now. I mean, on the 20th. Keith was like, you want me to do like some time to, and I'm like, bring me right up. Because it was the first time I watched a guy really just go for it like that, and I thought, it's beautiful. I loved it. And there's joy in it. And the audience is so happy. So I started telling him, bring me right up. Give no pause. And people would barely hear him introduce me. And I'd be out to people going, oh, God, just like dying. And I'd just look at them. And I had great sets after Tom Ayres.
You rode the wave.
I did.
Yeah. That's what people have to realize, to just ride the wave. But comics tend to think of things, a lot of comics are narcissists, and they think of themselves more than they think of anything else.
Yeah.
And they also, they have a famine mentality.
What's that?
Famine mentality means there's only enough for one person. Like there's not enough for everybody.
Weird thought. It's a weird way to think of the world.
It's a terrible way to think of the world.
Yeah.
It's so wrong, and it's so self-serving, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like if you really do believe that there's only so much out there, you'll act as if,
and you'll give up.
Yeah, and you'll start to alienate people around you.
Yeah,
because people know that you're really just thinking about yourself. You know, you get real weird, and then people get weird around you. They don't feel comfortable. Yeah. When you're happy for people, like genuinely happy for people, better things happen. Like everybody feels good.
No, I always tell comics when you're watching the guy before you. And you're thinking, what a piece. If you shit on a comic to the person next to you, you're going to bomb. I've seen that happen a million times. somebody's on stage, and the guy next to me is going, God, I hate this. I hate when he says this. And
Yeah.
then they go on, they have a shitty set.
Because you're angry.
Yeah, it's
You
a
go
lot
on
of
in a
last
bad
thing you should
mood.
be thinking about.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And also, some comedians, a lot of us are frustrated. We wish we were like rock stars. So, we want to look cool up there, but nobody wants you to look cool.
Nobody wants to look cool. They just want to laugh.
Yeah.
But the looking cool thing is because you don't want to feel like a piece of shit, and you do, so you decide, I want to look cool, so that way I won't be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then you go up there and you just
a
like
piece of
ruin
shit.
the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so complicated. There's so much going on with comedy.
Yeah.
There's so much going on with every phrase and everything you say. It's really like mass hypnosis. That's really what's going on.
Yeah, there are some I've kind of gotten realized in the last few years, because I'm in deep now. I'm 38 years into it. And there's like, you get another, it's like Scientology when they tell you about the aliens, like you got to get really deep in.
Yeah.
You start to go, oh, there's shit about stand-up I didn't know.
Yeah.
And one of them is that there's some automatic laughs that you're getting. And you got to be careful with that.
Right. Just timing laughs.
Yeah, you're just getting some laughs because, like tags. A lot of
Right.
tags are just like, all you're doing is spending that dollar again. And they'll laugh for you. And also, they're nice people.
Yeah.
The comedy audience automatically is a pretty nice person.
They have fun.
Well, and also they came to sit, and in this day and age of like staring into it, they put their phone down for the most part, and they sit with strangers, like shoulder to shoulder, and they listen to a fucking person, for sometimes 2 hours. They're just listening. It's a very giving, people that there's people that can't do that, like sit in a comedy audience. They're constantly, like people that you see leaving their table constantly. And some people, they just not built for it. But it takes a very patient and giving person. So they'll laugh. And I think about this when I do shit that's really fucked up. And I get some laughs, but I look at them and I go, you didn't want to laugh at that, but you did it for me. You did it for me. And especially if they're your fans.
Yeah.
But also, like, I have my ex-girlfriend, who's my dear friend. She's a comedian in France. Her name is Blanche Gardin. She's a hilarious comedian. She's a huge star in France. She's like the biggest star there. And I used to go see her do shows. I saw her about 10 times in French. And I would sit in the audience and watch her, and I'd laugh really hard, and I don't know anything that she's saying.
Oh,
and I'm not fake laughing. It's hypnosis.